Hey guys, it's Miss Eckert here. Today we are going to be talking about distance learning and what to expect for math. So, distance learning is starting today. We will be doing distance learning for the next 5 weeks, so until April 30th. Hopefully, fingers crossed that then we can come back to school after that. So, this is kind of what to expect in the next few weeks here as we get into math. So, the big thing is that distance learning is going to be very similar to our flex days. So, there is no set time that you need to be logged on. The only thing that you need to be making sure that you do is do the attendance question for every day because we have to mark your attendance. So, for example, this is the schedule that was sent out by the district earlier or last week. So, just kind of an idea that work for school is going to be approximately about 2 hours total for the day. So that means that you're not going to be in school technically from 8 to 3, but you can start your morning with breakfast, some activities, and then you can spend an hour or so working on homework in the morning, and then kind of take a break and then finish up your schoolwork in the afternoon. Again, this is a sample. You are going to be doing what best works for you in your situation. I know that there might be some of you that are helping watch siblings, helping take care of that stuff, so you might not get to this until later in the afternoon, and that is totally fine. It's going to have kind of that flexibility of a flex day where you can kind of log in and do the work when it works best for you. So, attendance. You are required to check into classroom every single day. So, there's going to be a bell ringer question that you will need to complete to show that you were in class for your attendance. This is required that you complete it every day, and if the bell ringer is not completed by midnight, then I have to mark you absent from class for that day. But again, whenever you get that done throughout the day, it is up to you. So every morning I'm going to be posting the bell ringer question at 8 a.m. There is no required time that you have to be logged on. All I have, I will have the things posted right away so that you can access that whenever you plan on working on schoolwork. So it's going to be similar to the flex day where you can kind of log on and work at your speed. And the only difference is that that attendance question has to be completed every single day. For the bell ringer, for my class, it's going to be very similar to the 3 bell ringer questions that you had at the beginning of the class. So we'll be kind of working on that. We will not be doing the bell ringer quizzes, but it's just going to be the 3 questions, just some spiral review, and you'll complete that and then turn it in for your attendance. And then you'll get a few points for that. So, classwork and homework. There's also going to be daily lessons that you are going to be working on throughout the week. These are also going to be posted daily at 8 a.m. The lessons are going to be videos similar to what you saw on Flex Learning Days. You'll want to write vocabulary and examples in your math notebook to use as a reference. There will be exit tickets kind of at the end just to show if you're understanding. There'll be usually around 2 to 3 problems where you're just kind of checking to make sure that you're understanding what was in the videos. Your homework will consist of IXL levels and some example problems. And to start with, if I assign homework throughout the week, all homework is going to be due on Friday. That does mean that you can turn in work early. You don't have to wait until Friday. But I'm going to kind of give you guys this first week to gauge what's going to work best for you and your schedule. So, for problems, there are a few different ways that you can turn in examples. A lot of the stuff will be on Google Forms. And if I need to see your work, there are a couple different ways that you can do that. You can send a picture of your work, or there is a really cool app called Office Lens, and it's going to look very similar to this. So if you are looking for it, it has the little circle and the L at the top there. That's kind of what it looks like. But it is really neat because you can take pictures. If you see underneath the easy and powerful screenshots there, that it can take a picture of a piece of paper or a whiteboard, and it turns it pretty much into a PDF, which makes it easier to read. So if you have a phone or an iPad, or if your parents have a phone that they're willing to let you use, you can download that app, and it's kind of an easy way to turn in your work. It creates a PDF, and then you can just quick send that to me in an email. So that's one way that you can turn in your work. Otherwise, if you send a picture, things like that will work. So, for grading, you are still going to be graded for your assignments that you are completing for the week. So, that means that yes, you will still have a grade in JMC. Scores are going to be recorded in JMC for your quarter 4. So, today, March 30th, marks the start of quarter 4. We finished up quarter 3 these last 2 weeks. Quarter 4 starts today. Another thing that we have done is parents have been added to Google Classroom as well. They will not exactly see the same classes as you guys will, but they have the opportunity to have it set up either daily or weekly, where they are sent summaries of what has been assigned in all Google Classrooms. And then it also gives them a report on whether or not you have been turning in your homework. So that's going to be kind of a way for us to communicate with parents about what is being assigned, and then whether or not that work has been turned in or not. So that means that turn in button in the top right corner is going to be very, very, very important. So if it's something that is a material, you might just want to mark that, oh, I got it done, so that your parents can kind of see that, okay, they got that test done, but it might not be necessarily an assignment that's like on a Google document. It might be like an IXL level or something like that. So again, JMC will still be used the same way as it has in the past. And then the other thing is that Google Classroom will be sending your parents a summary every single week or daily if they picked that option. So communication. If you have questions, this is something that is brand new to myself. It is brand new to you, and it is brand new to your parents. It's going to take some time for us to all get adjusted to this. So that means that if you have questions, please, please, please get a hold of me. You can email me. I have my email listed there. You can call my cell phone, which is going to be the homework helpline. So again, that number is 507-526-6555. It's going to ask you for an extension, and my extension for my classroom is 2136. I also have this posted at the top of Google Classroom so that you guys are able to easily find that number. There was also a newsletter that was sent out last week, and that also at the bottom has the list of all the extensions for all the teachers. So if you need to get a hold of someone that's not me, those numbers are listed there for you also. There's also Google Hangouts. This is going to be in your email. There's going to be along the left side, kind of towards the bottom, like the Google Chat. You can also do a Google Hangout. If you're going to do one with me, you'll have to kind of set that time up through email so that I know when to be on my computer and things like that. But it's basically just a video conference. So if you want to meet one-on-one quick, we can do that. You can also use it to meet with your classmates. If you are wanting to talk to some friends or some classmates and things like that, Google Hangouts would be a good way. Then our last thing that I have is Zoom. So some of you have been able to log on this week to have some of the Zoom meetings with the teachers as we were kind of testing it out. I will be having daily Zoom meetings where I will be available online for math and English from 2 to 3 p.m. So if you have any quick questions, feel free to hop on and ask those questions. It is a time that I will be online for sure from 2 to 3 p.m. So that's also a way that if you have a question or anything like that, you know that I will be online during those times. When it comes to Zoom meetings, I know this past week we've kind of used them just to kind of talk and hang out. Going forward, it's going to be time for you guys to ask questions. So I just have some Zoom etiquette, if you say. When you log in, please make sure that you're using your real name. It makes it easy for myself and others to communicate with you because we know who you are. Make sure that you're bringing your best. So you want to make sure that you are sitting in a place that has good lighting, that is free from distractions and pets and things like that. You want to make sure that you're dressed appropriately. Do things like don't pick your nose. You're going to be on camera. If you want to use headphones, you can. It helps with some of the feedback issues, but it does kind of make when you talk a little bit glitchy. You want to make sure that you're being respectful. Use school-appropriate language, writing, appearance. Keep yourself on mute until you have your turn if you need something to say. There is some like raise hand options that if you are going to, I can kind of know like, okay, so-and-so has a question, and I can unmute you and you can ask your question. And then just be patient. I am probably going to be going back and forth between where you will see me personally, and then maybe some documents where I might be explaining some problems. It might be a little glitchy at first. Again, this is something that we are all getting used to, and it's brand new to us, so be patient. Be patient with us and things like that. So, other communications. Again, if you have questions, let me know. This is going to be a learning experience for all. Others who are willing to help. Our paras are in our Google Classrooms, and they're willing to help if you have questions. So we do have the 3 paras that are in the classes. We have Mrs. Osmus, Mrs. Stoffer, and Mrs. Wolf. So if you have any questions, those 3 are more than willing and able to help if you have any questions that you would like to ask them. Okay, so some things that we are going to be using for distance learning. We'll be using the videos, again, very similar to Flex Learning. We'll be using Google Classroom and IXL. So it's not going to be anything brand new. It's not going to be anything different. It's not anything that you are going to have to learn. It's stuff that you are familiar with because we want to make this as easy and stress-free as possible for yourself, your parents, and even us teachers. So there might be some things that are new kind of here and there, but overall it's going to be things that you guys are familiar with. So that's kind of what to expect for English. Your bell ringer question for today is just going to be a short Google form. And in that Google form, what you are going to be doing is you are going to answer these few questions. Kind of, do you have any questions about distance learning after this video? What are some things that you might be nervous or excited about when it comes to distance learning? And then what can I, as Ms. Eckert, do to help you to make distance learning more meaningful to your learning? And then just a brief answer, kind of how have the last 2 weeks gone? I know I've been busy with schoolwork and stuff like that, but I'm also realizing that it's also kind of boring being locked up in a house with not much to do. And I'm sure for you guys, it's probably the same way. But just kind of want to see how your last 2 weeks have gone. So that is our bell ring for question for today. And then I do have some homework for you guys. And again, this is not due until Friday, but we are going to be going into chapter 2, which is dealing with working with equations. And you are going to be applying what we have learned with decimals and fractions to this. So today's assignment is just kind of reviewing some of those operations like adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing with decimals and fractions. So if you go to IXL, you're going to be working on O4, which is adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing decimals. And then O7 is the same thing, but only with fractions. And again, it's just some review, and it's not due until Friday. So that is what I have for today. Tomorrow we will start with lesson 2.2 and continue on going with our notes and examples from that. So have a great day. I can't wait to see you guys again. I miss you all.